Excellent. Fantastic. There you are. We can see Jeeva. Hey there, Jeeva.
Hey, Raj.
Excellent,
Hi, guys.
excellent. So please obviously share. You're doing so much in the community, Jeeva. You don't mind if you just share a little bit of what you're doing, what you're up to. That'd be really great.
Sure. Thanks for the introduction, Raj. Myself, Jeevarajan Kumar. You can call me Jeeva. So I'm a Microsoft Business Application MVP, and I'm also a Microsoft Certified Trainer. So I'm currently working in Singapore. I'm one of the community leads in Singapore user group and also ASEAN's user group. So we do conduct monthly meetups and also quarterly full day sessions, maybe once in a 4 months, something like that. And also I've been actively involved in communities like 365 Saturday and other communities as well. And as Raj said, it's been, I think, 1.5 years, isn't it, Raj? So last time we had a in-person event in Singapore. This time, due to COVID-19, it's getting delayed. Hopefully, things will get resolved and we can have an in-person event in Singapore. Let's see. So today, yeah.
Awesome. No, thanks. Thanks again, Jeeva.
So today, in this session, we're going to see how to deliver a personalized customer experience. Let me stop my video. Meanwhile, as Mano said, it could affect certain users' bandwidth. Okay. So yeah, so today we're going to see whatever Mano showed. That is like she literally covered almost all the part of the customer insights, how to configure it and how to use them in the model-driven app inside the Dynamics 365 customer service. So today, with the continuation of that, we will see, I'll just give you a high level of what I will be using, because I cannot completely skip that part. So I have to give some introduction about what this could have. Some of them would be already Mono covered, but some of them would be new. And whoever joined missed the Mono session, maybe this could be helpful for them as well. So we'll first see that, and then we will see how this can be brought into a Canvas apps, how this can be connected to a Power Apps, and how the data, the Mano, if you noticed the Mano session, she was mentioning about this enables the customer experience. So provides an option to provide a better customer experience. We will see how in real time it is possible. Let's take a scenario and we will see how it is done. So as I said, myself, Jeevarajan Kumar, and you can scan this QR code to get connected with me in the LinkedIn, and this is my Twitter handle as well. And this is my blog address. I'll just flash it for 10 seconds. Okay, let's move on. So today's agenda is going to be, I know Mano, I showed a little bit of the introduction on how exactly it's helpful. I will also show some kind of introduction apart from and other than what she shared earlier. Maybe this could add some more valuable insights to what exactly customer insights is. And then we will jump into a session. This is going to be quick theory stuffs. So we all know that it's a game changer, and it's like instead of reacting to what happened to the business, and the customers, it is always great to be proactive and take necessary action to increase the CSAT score when you do customer service, and also to do cross-sell, upsell, and even for the marketing as well. So instead of looking at the business in parts, they need typically business owners need to have a holistic view of their entire business, right? Right from marketing to sales to back office operations and more, right? So instead of making decisions based on incomplete information, they will need to draw on a very connected data source to help predict the next best action, basically. So when there are a variety of data split in multiple data sources and multiple chunks of data, it's always a difficult, hectic task for the business owners to come to to do a better customer service, or also to overall for the business also it's not easy, because in today's world everything is all about data. So so instead of focusing on reporting activity, so because if you have a disconnected data systems, you will be heavily dependent on your reporting and analytical softwares, right? So instead of focusing on reporting activity, which will merge and blend data from different data sources, and show it in a view. You can that happened in the past. This can be used to pursue a meaningful business goals and also come up with the better outcomes for the future as well. So we'll see how it is done. Well, Mano showed how it is done at the customer insight, the tool, and also the same can be consumed in the model-driven app. So this is all about how the customer insights is going to help in this particular case. So you can see, right? The main reason why AI is adopted, again, just a quick walkthrough. So first thing is going to be, of course, better customer engagements in business applications when you talk about, and then obviously to find the best competitor and be highly competitive in the market, and to make higher margins and accelerate innovations, to do some innovation in the project, and then have a productive employees. So sorry, I jumped on. Yeah. So this is how typically the maturity level of AI is mapped when it comes to your business processes. So high level, basic level, the foundation level, we can have basic analytical capabilities, and then we will have better AI, like increasing the sales or figuring out the issues that could come in the future, something like that. And then you can go and experiment and applied AI, like data science. All these things will be started applying in the aspiration and the mature level of stages, later stages in the business. So to start with, where to start with and where the customer insights exactly sits in, you can see right here. So we always have business intelligence, and then like Power BI and other apps at the base level, and then there is first level. Second level, we have a SaaS, customer insights, sales insight, marketing insights. And then you have the accelerators. There are the industry accelerators and some solution templates also, which you can get it from the market. And of course, you have the Azure services, including Azure Cognitive Services, which is used in the Power Platform, and bot services and Azure searches as well. So if you already attended previous sessions of 365 Saturday on the Power Platform sessions, you would have gone through there was nice demos being showcased earlier. So even those features uses the AI services, and then the custom AI is where the data science and deep AI capabilities comes into the picture, like Azure machine learning and Databricks as such. Even in our customer insights, once we develop the model, we can always export this model to and give it to the data scientist and to apply the machine learning models, or can be until certain level can be done by business people as well. Even I think she showed that as well in the previous session. So when you talk about customer insights, I also want to talk about the sales insights. So sales insights, is a feature, as that it helps to make the sales better. So in the sense, you can continuously analyze the vast collection of customer interaction data that is already stored in your Dynamics 365 sales or 365 databases. And also it helps you to better understand your business relationships, right? And also it helps you to evaluate your activities in relation to the businesses. So this can also be enabled in the product, and it will enables the business to build a strong relationship basically with the customers, and it will help them to take actions, right, based on the insights that's shown in the sales insight. But there is one disclaimer here. So whatever the sales insights or any insights shows, it is to leverage them, or it is to do the sales effectively. But it's not like you have to 100% reliable on that particular insight and you have to do the sales, or you proceed with that. So your salesperson, whoever it is, should not be completely dependent on the results that the sales insight is showing. So why the Microsoft approach is different in all these cases, right? So as she shared earlier, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Customer Insights, it unifies the B2B and B2C customer data, right? And it provides the insight to enable the organizations to deliver a personalized customer experiences, of course. And it also realizes the full potential. It helps you to realize the full potential of the customer data quickly, and that within the self-service solution as well. And you can also have a full control over the customer data and with respect to security, governance, and compliance, because it is hosted in the Azure, which is like highly scalable and secure. That. So what are the areas that AI can help? So now we can see the AI can help in almost all the whole business application suite, ERP and customer engagement suite. So you can see with the help of AI, business owners can understand, they can focus on where exactly the sales team should do their focus, and to spot quickly the market opportunities, and to have a tailored customer experience or interaction. We're going to see one of this today, and this as well. And then like we need to prevent issues before they happen, right? That is the proactive way of doing the customer service. And like if you want to reduce any fraud exposure, how we can build a community within the business as such. And also when it comes to Microsoft product, so we have sales insight, market insight, customer insight, Power Virtual Agent, customer service insight, AI builders, portals, and fraud protection. So today we're going to focus on the application of the customer insights. All right. So yeah. So you can see this is the how the typical example of how the data has been distracted, or it's separated and multiple data sources, which is obtained over the period of time of the business, right? So in this case, you can see that like it's quite tough for the business owners to get to do that. I mean to get the access to the data and get the right information, whatever they need at the right time, right? So you can see instead of looking at the business in parts. So if they want to look at the holistic view of the entire business, right from marketing to sales to back office and everything, in that case, customer insights really helpful, will be helpful for them to do that. So we'll have a unified profile created out of all these data sources. And that is what exactly she showcased, how to build a unified profile using a customer insight. How to do the data ingestion and then unification, the map, merge, and all those stuffs. I think I will skip this slide because I think she gave a very good brief information on this one. All right, so today's sample use case that we're going to see is, oops, one image is missing, sorry about that. So we'll just take let's say we have a burger business like a McDonald's, and we call this Power Burger. Of course, we are Power Platform guys, and we are in Power Community right now. And let's say we have business in multiple medium, like we have an online business and we have in-store business, and also here it's supposed to be a vending machine or something like a kiosk machine. I think the image got broke here. Never mind. So so basically we are seeing how the data has been connected between all these different sales or different areas of the business, and then how it is going to be helpful for the business users. And this is the exact data model which you guys saw in the previous session. So you got like e-commerce contacts, and then I believe you got loyalty schemes and POS and online and website reviews, right? We're just taking a sample, typical sample that Microsoft offers at this moment, because it's quite tough to create these data sources. So I believe even Ambish has shared the same URL for the same. So you can see that the data comes from the e-commerce platform, and also data comes from the loyalty management scheme, loyalty management application, or whatever it is, and then POS machine at the in-store, and also they can do in online purchases, and also website reviews in case of this is not just the purchase, it could be some review or rating, whatever you do. And there could be any other data as well, like a campaign, a marketing campaign, or like mobile, the data, anything. Or it could be also external data as well, in case of where let's say our business is heavily dependent on the weather and the forecasting, like airlines business as such. So in that case, you can also import the external data sources, and then you can again blend this data with that, and you can have a holistic view of the data that is required to run the operation successfully. Okay, just a moment. Grab my charger. Yeah. And then, so today, what we'll do is, we will just create a Canvas app using the Power Apps. And then, for our, basically this app, what it will do is, let's say you imagine a customer who is very actively ordering food in online and, doing some purchases, and he just grabs the burgers every day and coffee, the kiosk machine. Now he has actually visited in person. Okay. So since he is a frequent customer and we have to know, it is better. Let's imagine our scenario where we walk in to any store, retail store, and suddenly a person walks to you and say, "Hi," with the welcome you with the, once you check in, they will welcome you with the name and your history of transactions that you have done, which in the online and kiosk machine, wherever it is in any other stores. And with that, let's say they are giving you some promotions, and also based on your previous orders, they now the let's say the company has introduced a new burger, and they want you to try, right? And they will suggest you that kind of recommendation, and that's something like called a good customer service, right? End of the day, I'm just making it a very simple example that we can relate it every day with the example of burger, but you can imagine the level of the business that we can apply this to. Yeah, so we will have that app created now. So that app will be eventually showing all the data that we just created in the previous session that she created, and that data will be consumed in this app, and it will give a wonderful holistic view for the salesperson or the service person who is doing that, who is working at that store and who is taking care of that customer, right? And then she will also capture a check-in. So make sure that when the customer is there, they will check in, and then so that check-in is also captured. It's used for the next time when she visits the store, or she does a next purchase in the online, something like that. Okay, so without further ado, so let me quickly share the customer insights thing. So I believe you guys somewhat used to this now, know what is the unified customer profile, how it is created, how the search and filter index are configured, and what is data ingestion, which is consuming data through here. You just add it in the data source, and then you map it by setting the primary key, and then match and merge. So I'll just give you high level again, just a quick brief about again these things, so that someone who joined, who missed the last one, would be able to follow what I'm trying to say. So the first step when you build the customer profile, to build the customer profile, is to add the data sources. So when you add the data sources, you have variety of data sources, as she just showed. Like you can input data from multiple data sources, or you can connect to CDM and CDS. If you're going to input the data from data sources, you're gonna you're gonna have lots of options here. So let me just, I'm not going to create anything. I'm just going to show you the data sources options that is available there. Come on. It's Saturday, so it's kind of slow. You got to give it some time. It's a party time. Yeah, so you see there are lots of data sources, and the one that we shared in the chat, we're going to consume it from the text and CSV format, right? Once you go this, you can either upload the file, or you can do the URL of the file, right? So once you do that, it will import. In case of CDS, if you want to connect to your CDS environment, you can just straight away select the CDS as well. All right. So once you've done that, you will have the data source right here. And then the first step is, of course, you define your primary key like this. And then the second step would be you're matching the profile. So where you're going to combine two data sets, how you're going to combine it, and you can see how much the results have been matched. You can see the data from the e-commerce and the loyalties are almost 98% matched, and the current data, which is in the dynamics, has again 70% match, so that this much of customers are there already in the dynamics. And if the other customers are new customers, maybe we can use them to do some sales for them and make it as a members, something like that. So I believe you've seen this as well, how much the matching is done. So all these connects are there in the e-commerce portal as well as in the dynamics. Okay. And then the last step, of course, is the merge. So when you have multiple databases, data, you need to know which one need to take the highest priority. And that's where, like in the example that she shown is the first name, you're going to have loyalty customers and the commerce contacts, and the priority is set for the e-commerce, then the loyalty management system, something like that. So once you have this, the merging, so you have to clearly understand what is the purpose of merging. So when you have more than same customer data in multiple systems, you have to reconcile them, right, to avoid the conflicting of the data. And also you define any other attributes if you want them, right? And also you have to make a note of it that the primary keys will never be merged. Of course, it's logically that should be the thing, right? So all the primary keys, whatever you're defining here for the contact ID, in case here loyalty customer, again contact ID. In case of Dynamics 65 contacts, it's a contact ID, but these are all different IDs and these are not going to be merged. Okay. And then, yeah, quickly, so search, when by default, the system will just maybe doesn't include, let's say, date of birth or something like that. When let's say you want to include date of birth here to be searched, you can always go and, of course, you might have seen this, you click here, then you select the new search index, whatever we got from the unified profile. Okay, and then it will get searched by itself. And then relationships is something, we can see, I have just established some sample 5 relationships. So, it will help you to connect the entities that have imported and you have, generated the, the data basically, right? So what it does is it's simple, database relationships. It's very similar to that. In fact, it is a database relationship, by the way. So it used, so whichever entities that have a common foreign key, like common identifier, which is a foreign key, that can be referenced from each other, and it can be from you can see that source entity POS, the data I got from the POS machine, I will have relationship to the loyalty customers data, so that one customer will have multiple POS purchase, 1 to many in this way, right? So this is the relationships. So one good example would be yeah, like all of them are examples which you can see. So one contact can have multiple purchases, one customer can have multiple e-commerce purchase, multiple POS purchase, and one contact can do multiple web reviews as such. And then quickly seeing the measures, you might have seen this. So it is nothing but defining a KPIs, and she said it has 3 types: business measures, customer measures. Business measures is going to be available right there in the the home page, because it's not bounded to any single customers. It's all about your whole business itself. So you can see right away in the home page itself the business measures. And if you go with respect to individual customers, you're going to see the customers measures, whatever we added there. Why I'm showing this? Because these things are going to be used in my Power Apps as well. That's why. And this is the activity. So activity is again another thing which will come shortly. So you can see the measures and segments I have configured here is displaying in this data. The same can be consumed in the model-driven app, as we saw in the previous session, and it's going to be consumed in the Canvas app as well. And of course, when I just talk about segmentation at high level, I can say it will allow you to group your customers into a certain certain way, like demographic, based on a demographic, or based on a transactional, or based on behavioral. You can see this is like transactional based measures, and this one is like if you want to run any campaign for any let's say for millennials for born in within certain year range, you can also go and create. If you see what I have done, this will just you see it just said whatever the average store purchase, who have done about $113, and who were born between date of birth like 1985 and above, sorry, above 1985 and below And in 96, I'm considering them as a miscellaneous. Okay. And you can see the first set of data has come from the unified profile and the measure which I created in the previous step. And this things comes from the unified profile. So once I have this, now I can use this for my marketing to do targeting this specific age group people for certain type of promotion. Let's say these guys are doing store purchase frequently. I want them to promote. I want to promote them for my online portal. Let's say, for example, then I can target. I can use this as a data analytic data that I can be using in the any apps, even from the Power BI as well. All right. So what else? Yeah, and other thing is you can also export these segments, whatever you created, and also this can be consumed from the APIs as well. Okay, that is just a one-liner. And then activities. Finally, we'll see activities before we see the app. So the activities, you see we have added 3 activities from the e-commerce, from the POS, and from web reviews. So what happens is when we see our customer, he or she is going to have the consolidated activities at the profile. Okay, and you just saw that in the model-driven app like this. See, the customer named Paul, he has done the review and he has also done some online purchase. So both have been consolidated and shown here. Okay, so that's all about the high level what I want to give you on the customer insights. So there are other things as well, like lots of things which she covered in depth, I believe. And this is what I was telling you about, to get the outside data inside the to work together with the unified profile, so you can have data that uses Graph API, and it's called enrichment. So what happens is, let's say we are selling burgers, right? So we can say that okay, this the other competitors like McDonald's or other people, what they're selling, and whether our customer would be interested in that or something like that. Okay, I don't want to waste time here because I think it's already you guys seen this. Okay, so next demo time. Hopefully things work. May the demo gods be with us. All right, so now let's assume that we have successfully ingested the data sources and we created a unified customer profile and we calculated the key measures. Now you are now able to leverage the insights, right, which we have generated. Now, so let's assume that as a IT or like a manager, we want to empower our sales team to deliver a better customer experience, right? And that's what we're trying to do. Also, same time, we'll capture the interaction that is happening at the each store. So the interactions are nothing but any customer touch points, purchases, customers, cases, emails, phone calls, branch visits, which we're going to see now, and web, social activity, all those things. Okay. All right. So let's go and quickly open our Power Apps. It's very simple app, right? I'm not going to complicate with the things, showing magic stuffs in Power Apps. There are lots of things that is available online for, and please do follow Power Saturday sessions from Power Community, and there are going to be lots of more interesting sessions coming up in the next weeks as well. So with having said that, let me quickly run and show what my application is doing, and then I will show you what exactly is involved behind the screen. Okay. Don't be bothered about the coffee. It's the app that I got from Microsoft, of course. So we can change this with burger, whatever it is. Let's assume that we do sell coffee as well for now. Okay, so let us see the contact over here. Okay. I just use this contact. We can use any contact that is, that's common between the unified profile and the, customer insight on the dynamics. You see, you remember? I just show you guys here. So, oops, yeah, over here, so these contacts will be in Dynamics as well, and these contacts will be from the external database that I imported as well. That's why it's matched here. So we can use any of this contact. I'll just use any of this one now. So let me go and run my app. It's very plain, simple app. As I said earlier, I'm going to do for a customer search. I used this already, but we can use anyone if that matters. Let's say I use Robert. Hopefully it's there. Oh, sure, Robert. All right. So let me, so this is what I want to show you guys. So this is all about this. I mean, this one simple screen is all about what we have built so far in the customer insight. Okay. So if you notice this, well, there should be image. There is some issue with the image. I don't know why. But yeah, ideally we can have the image as well here. And you can see the customer profile. So the beauty about here is you are seeing the customer name, email ID, and the loyalty ID. Okay, loyalty ID came from a different database, by the way, from the loyalty management system. And this thing came from the e-commerce platform. Okay, and a key thing here is there can be multiple data. There can be data coming from multiple databases. How the system, you see, the system is smart enough to avoid the duplicates and try to merge the right data. And you remember you gave the priority when you're doing the merge, right? And that's what takes precedence when there is actually some conflicts. Okay, so since we gave the e-commerce as the priority when she did it, and you are seeing the data right from the e-commerce. Let's say someone did some typo and entered instead of KUCCHR, they entered KOUCHR or KAUCHER or whatever it is. So in that case, system is smart enough to find these two are the same guys, and it's gonna show you the right unified profile of that. Okay, and that's what you're gonna see this here. All right, and the address, of course, it can be from any of the data sources which we blend. And see, this is what I want to show you. But yeah, both of them come from Product Online. This is not the best example. Let me go back and maybe search someone else. This lady. Yeah, you see, we have now a blend of activities she did. From this, I think this should be from the e-commerce. As we can, the shipment was delayed, whatever it is, and she raised some email, and we are seeing this. We are seeing this here, and she has done some activities, the online, and as such. So you'll basically have a combined, a unified activity from different data sources. Okay, and here, you guys remember where did you saw this? Yeah. So this was from the measures and the segments, and we created the same to achieve this by basically, right? So if you go here, what is this? It's a club points, right? Okay, let me measure. So here, this is what we just seeing there. So the club points, whatever we got it, and how we got it, you guys might have seen this. So we got it from the unified profile and the POS. We combined it and we got the measures of the club points, and that is what we are seeing it here. And lifetime value, as usual, the lifetime spend, whatever she's did so far, and that is what you're seeing it here, right? Okay, sorry. And how that is derived? You see, and it's from the customer unified profile, and we are merging the e-commerce, and we are merging post purchase, all this together, and we are just combining these two, and we're just assuming summing it there. So the step-by-step process is definitely it's very well defined in her YouTube video. You can take a look at that later. This one, whatever we are seeing now, this one I'll be soon publishing the video where you can see how this can be consumed in the Power App and Flow. It's going to be a quick one, not an extensive one anyways. Yeah. Having said that, so this is where the data is coming from, and this is a recommendation, right? So basically, we are using the sales insights recommendation here, any insight recommendation. So to create this, if you already attended the previous sales Saturday, you might have gone through some nice sessions on the sales insights. So when you have as we said earlier, when you have lots of sales data, and whatever we have in our business systems, or could be any other systems as well, not just only our business system. Well, it can be from outside systems as well, like LinkedIn or any office system as such. Okay, so there is no oops, sorry. Yeah, so there is no restriction on that part, by the way. All right, so having said that, we'll see how this is done at behind the screen, how this is done, and now we'll see how we can extend this as well. Earlier I have just done only the basic setup, but no, you can add lots of interesting stuff there. I have just I'm just going to show you the templates that can be used from the app, but right now it's going to be empty. Okay, so let's go back. Right, so this is first step. Let's say when the person Donna Conley enters into the physical store of our burger shop, and our salesperson comes here and do the sales. I mean, attended Donna, and the moment she enters her loyalty ID, or she asks for a name and she searches in the app. Let's say this is the app our salesperson is going to use, or the store person is going to use. She searches Donna Conley and gets her profile, and she'll be getting the 360 view of Donna, basically. Okay, that she got from all the systems. All right. So being said that, and at the same time, our salesperson also wants to capture the store visit of this one. What right now Donna is in a restaurant, right, in a physical store, right? We want to capture the store check-in of that as well. So when the moment I do the check-in, so what happens is it has a Power Automate behind the screen. It's going to basically add a record into a custom table called check-ins, which is a type of activity. All right. So if we go back to our user's profile, and I go to activity, you see this is the time right now. So we can see that there is a check-in being done. Okay. So let's say she's done in our Power Burger Store 1, and see, this is what I was talking about. These are all templates. I've just left it. I'm not handling that in the mobile app, but you can extend it. Okay. So how? Let's say we can see this is whether she's a member or she's by default she should be a member because she has the loyalty ID. And we can say like this prescribed product, right? So and let's say this time she tried a cold brew, and we can just mark that as well. Let's say this is a product which we have testing in the market, and we are trying to get a more customer feedbacks to make this product better. In that case, we can say what we have done, and we can capture all this on. So these things can be marked from the Power Apps directly. Okay, but to make it simple, we're just entering a record inside the Dynamics against enter the customer service against the Donna in this case. Okay. All right. So this is the quick demo, and how we are consuming this. Let's see how this is done behind the screen to come to this point. Okay. So with respect to Power Apps, as I said, it's very straight, quite simple and straightforward thing. So I have a gallery here, and we are not going to see any detailed things about Power Apps here in this session, by the way. So we have gallery, and you can see that okay, before this we need to add the data sources, right? Okay, so this is the very first step that you have to do. So once you have the go to the data source, add a new data source, click on new connection if you do not already added it, search for customer insights. Here you're going to find the customer insights. You're going to be amazed now what it's going to offer you now. You see, do you remember what are these things? So this is our unified customer profile, and these are all the measures that we created in the customer insights, and these are all data sources that we added in the customer insights. To compare it parallelly, let me see. This is the measures we have, and you see the same thing: average POS purchase value, average web purchase value, the business measures, and you're going to see the customer profile, and also the the segments, the summer promotion, which I showed you just a few minutes back, and you can use that, and you can consume the data from that as well. And these are all the unified activity, and that is the activity that has been combined here from the POS, from the website, and from the e-commerce, right? You see, we are seeing the unified activity, which is the combination of all these three activities. I mean, activities from these data sources, and also the entities, which are nothing but the data sources, which we added here. Okay, you see, you have to understand the entities before going into the apps. So the moment you have the data source and you do all the segments and measures, if you go and explore when you have some time, you can see that you see all these data sources that we added will be shown here. Okay. And literally from this, you can see that how lazy I am, and I just started building this set demo just a few hours back, right? And this is also a good example, as she said, this can be set up within hours, okay? Okay, I know I am trying to make over this, but yeah, the point is you can set this up in a few hours, by the way. Yeah, so these are the entities that gets added when you import the data sources. And you see the segments we created, these are also stored as entities. That's why you are able to consume this from any other app like this, okay? And the profiles, the hero here is the profile, the unified profile that we created, which is nothing but our customer profile, okay? And then the measures and the unified activity. And that's what you will get here, all right? And in my case, what I have done is I've just added the customer and the and see, if you notice this, you can ask me, oh boss, this is showing only measures and business measures and then the entities. What about the other things? Don't worry. Whatever you want to add, just enter the name of that. It will be added, by the way. Okay. By the way, for example, the customer measure, it's not showing here, right? But you can always go and you can add like this. And I've already done that. If I go back to my data sources, you can see that I added unified activity, I added customer, I added customer measure. I added customer measures, and I added a unified activity, and I added the customers. Okay. So this is the very first step that you do, where you add the activity. Second step, you guys should be master already. I know most of you are. Just bind this data into the gallery. Simple as that. For here, for example, we have we are just binding the we are using the customer unified profile that we got from here. This the hero data, the hero entity, and then you're just getting the name and the loyalty ID and the customer based on the customer ID. We are filtering that. Using the text box search text box known as to filter the customer, right? And also here we are just have plain simple labels. It's not a complex stuff. So we have name, and we're just selecting gallery, selected full name, email ID, gallery selected email ID, address, gallery selected address, that is concatenation of street address, city, state, postal code, and country, basically. And in the second screen, here again, whatever we selected, we are just carrying forward here, name, email, and as I said, there is an image, but I am having some issues that can be sorted as well. And here again, the address, and this is a simple text and simple button. And then this is another gallery activity, recommendation one. Yeah, this guy, right? So you can see that I'm using the unified activity, and I'm just based on the ID that I'm following, passing from the previous screen, I'm just getting all the activities. The moment you query this entity, you're going to get all the activity from the previous screen. Okay, and then this is another gallery, so which is the lifetime value. So we just have one some gallery and then one label inside. That's all, and you can see the gallery is getting the value from the customer measure, right? So your lifetime spends are under the customer measure. If you remember what she shared earlier with respect to 3 types of measures, the business measure and the customer measure, and that is what we are seeing there. And those measures are stored under the entity called customer measures, okay? And that is what you are seeing it here. And then this is again another measures. This is straightforward measures, which is from this, which will be under the club point individual measure. See, custom measure is it's a concatenation of all these things. So that's why you're saying, lifetime spend and club points under the custom measure. Okay. And here comes the recommendation. It is, again, another gallery, and you can see I'm just pulling it from the action cards, and action cards regarding this specific contact. Okay. So how I created this, I'll just show you now. Let's park in for a while. I mean, it's all about the background work behind this Power Apps. Let's quickly go back to Microsoft Power Automate. Then we will see how the recommendation is created. It's just a static recommendation I'm just creating, by the way. But you can imagine how you can automate stuffs based from the. There are now sales insights. All these insights can be captured from the teams, or there are lots of cool stuffs can be done. So you can imagine from emails, teams, anywhere you can capture all these recommendations for that specific customer, and then you can display back in here into the Canvas app. But to mimic that, we are just creating a static hard-coded recommendation. We'll just see it right now, how we did that. Right, where is my Power Automate? Okay, here. So before going to recommendation, we first see what is happening in the check-in flow. It's very straightforward, simple flow, by the way. You can see this is my Power Automate, the name of my Power Automate, right? And that's what you're seeing it here. So you can see that, on the click of Power Apps, I'm connecting to my environment, and this is my custom entity. It's an activity type of entity, and I hard-coded this, but yeah, you can of course send it from the app, and it just takes some time and values. This, as I said earlier, I'm not passing any of this description regarding a subscription as this, which I just showed you here, but actually you can pass all these things based on the we can enhance the mobile app, the Canvas app, and we can capture like this and tons of information right here. And this again will be used in the next visit, right? How? Sorry that I'm jumping here and there. It has to be like that, by the way. How? The moment you do something in the Dynamics, right? Here, since I have the contact entity connected from my CDS to the customer insights, and I have merged that contact entity here, so any information that I choose, and I have made them, you see, these are all the entities that come from my Dynamics. The fields, I've just selected only these fields. If you want, we can add more fields as well. So let's say we're going to capture subscription or any comments, like any personal recommendations, or what you call references, where you refer some friend and that gets you some point. So all this can be done from the app to the Dynamics, and from Dynamics to the customer insights. And again, customer insights back to the Dynamics or Canvas apps, or any data sources. It's a whole cycle. That's why you get the holistic view, right? Okay, so without deviating to our thing, yeah. So we are just creating the new record inside the customer insights. Okay, this will help me to do that. So if you see the run history here, you see, this is we did 11 minutes ago, and that is what creating me this record. Okay, and the next flow is as I said, I'm just using one hard-coded flow to create a recommendation. So I just run it, it will just go and create some text. So I just hard-coded this stuff. So like you see, I'm just creating a sales assistant card. This is another connector which you can use. And I'm just entering, hard-coding the card name, reader, and the segment, all these things. But each and every single thing of this can be dynamically done from the apps. Okay, so which means when you do something, you can retrieve it and show it here, and we can do it the other way as well. So once what this will do is, it manually I run the flow. It will just create a where is my, yeah. It will create a new sales, insight, right? If you go to here, it will create the sales assistant, digital assistant, and since this user is not actual user, but in real time, you can think about it right now when you have an organization where you're actively doing service and sales. You will be receiving lots of email from your customer, email, phone calls, reviews, all those things will be automatically tracked here, right? If you guys have noticed, you can see that if it's connected to Outlook, it will automatically put all your emails right here. So all this, let's say you wanted next time, okay, I tried this burger, doesn't taste good. Maybe we can add more spicy, something like that. And that email automatically will show here, and it will seem, can be used by my salesperson. When we talk about the feedback from the customer to the salesperson, it's all about digital feedback loop, right? At the same time, from the salesperson to the customer, again, it goes back to this way. That is what we are seeing it here. Okay. All right. And yeah, so that is all pretty much about the flow. I mean, Power Automate. Hope I won't be fined by saying flow. Right. So that's all about the Power Automate. But yeah, you can see that once you have the insights connected to your business application, all this can be shown here, because at the end of the day, we are just attaching our action cards under the Canvas app, and we are just filtering based on the connectivity. So you might get a question: what exactly is this, boss? Like, what is this? Like, this. It's a weird name, like, and damn, I meant some typo, by the way. Anyways, and this, if you remember, when I showed you the customer insight, and that is the name of my data sources that I added from this one, basically, right? And when we do the merge, and now my data contact entity from this one also is connected here. That's why, now that you can see. So the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, this contact recommendation is not directly pulled from model template. I mean, from the Dynamics or from the CDS, by the way. This is pulled from the customer insights again. So that's why, when you have any thing, you literally will be getting it from the. So I mean, I'm matching the customer ID from the customer insights, not from the Dynamics, right? So it doesn't. So the point I'm trying to say is, you don't need to have all the time Dynamics, by the way. That's what I'm trying to say. You can have action cards, you can have Office applications, and you can still do these things. And what else I have? I'm pretty much about it. Yeah, I'm done with the demo. Raz, if there's any question, please.
Thanks, Jiva. It's a really good demonstration, and the information you provided is brilliant.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. A number of questions are there. So Davey is asking, do we need to create the relationship before creating the matching and merging the records?
Yes. So the relationships is when you wanted to create. I mean, you can still do this with one entity, but when you want to combine multiple entities, you need to create a relationship, right? It's like any database. If you don't want to consume the data from multiple entities, and you just want to consume it from only one data source, you want to create a measure and a segment from only one data source, one entity, you don't need to do the create relationships. So why do we create relationships? To combine multiple tables, right? Yeah.
Fantastic. Also, there is another question from Devi again. Can you explain how did you unify all the activities in one entity and show it on the Canvas app? I'm not sure if it is possible to demo now, looking at the time, but if you can explain.
Yeah. Yeah. So this activities, right? Obviously, as you said, we can't demo it now. But when you go ahead and create any activity, right? Let me open it already. See, you need to have valid relationships, by the way, before creating activity. Anyways, so let's say I created this activity to consume from the e-commerce. You can see that the moment I enter this relationships, it will ask me to enter the primary key. So I'm entering purchase ID, which is the primary key from the e-commerce, and timestamp will be purchased on, and the events are activity time displayed events. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and then you can see what I wanted, what kind of activity it is. It's a purchase type. And the relationship between entities would be the contact ID from the customers, between the customers and the activity. So what happens is this will pull the activities with respect to particular contact from that data source. Okay. And the moment you keep adding all those activities and you run these things, it will merge and create a unified activity. Did you got it, Devi? I hope that clarifies. And how we got that in the Power Apps is, as I showed you earlier, if you go to data sources, like any other data source, there is also one data entity from Customer Insights called Unified Activity. And that will have all the activities combined inside that. Okay.
Great. We have another question from Kokulan. Is customer service inside the user interface for customer data platform, or CDP is used by other products like Sales Insight, Customer Service Insights, etc.?
Well, that's a good question. So your question is, can the customer insight data itself can be used by any other insights like Sales Insight, Customer Service Insight, something like that, right? Well, to be frank, I have not tried any of the other AI products. Maybe if someone is aware of this, maybe they can let know. But I can pass this information offline. But to be frank, I have not tried consuming my customer insight unified profile data from the other insights information. But the other way around, I just showed you where I'm consuming my sales insight data into the customer insights.
That's great. Jiva, if you can share your contact details, so
oh yeah, perfect.
Can be in touch with you.
Yeah, sure. Sorry about that. Oh, there you go, Ambish. Ambish is the man.
Thanks, Ambish.
Yeah, and also I will just share you guys the URL of the data sources. It should be publicly available, I believe. So anyways, let me share you. You can use that. So yeah, so once again, so my full name is Jeevarajan Kumar, and I go with the name CRM Indian in our community. And this is my Twitter ID, and my LinkedIn ID is a full name. Ambish anyways shared that, and you can scan this and connect with me anytime. Sure. Right.
Fantastic.
Oh, finally, I completed my session within time. This is first time.